The bitter wind whipped across the busy streets of New York City as Emma Carter wrapped her thin coat tighter around her body. The city buzzed with life, but for Emma, it was just another exhausting day, juggling 2 part-time jobs and dreaming of a better tomorrow that always seemed just out of reach. She had just finished her shift at the small diner on 3rd Avenue, the soles of her worn-out sneakers barely holding together as she hurried toward the subway station. She didn't notice the wallet at first. It was tucked half under a bench, almost invisible in the growing shadows of the evening. It was only when she stumbled, nearly falling, that she saw it, a sleek, black leather wallet that looked completely out of place on the grimy sidewalk. Curious and cautious, Emma bent down and picked it up. It was heavy, stuffed with cash, cards, and a driver's license. The name read Logan Pierce, and judging by the polished credit cards and thick wad of $100 bills, this person was no ordinary worker. For a split second, a dangerous thought crept into her mind. She could take just a little. Maybe enough for a new pair of shoes, or a warm meal that didn't come from a microwave. No one would know. Her rent was overdue, and she barely had anything in her fridge. Her younger brother, Tyler, was depending on her too. But almost instantly, Emma shook her head, ashamed. That wasn't who she was. Her mother had raised her better than that. With trembling fingers, she tucked the wallet into her bag and made her way home, determined to return it the next day. That night, the cold seeped into the cracks of their tiny apartment. Tyler, only 14, was sitting at the kitchen table, hunched over his homework, shivering despite the old heater rattling uselessly in the corner. Emma watched him, her heart aching. She could have used the money. God knew they needed it. But no, she would do the right thing, no matter how hard it was. The next morning, she found the address listed on the license. It was a towering glass building in downtown Manhattan. Emma felt out of place as she stepped into the marble-floored lobby, surrounded by people in sharp suits and designer shoes. Her jeans were patched, and her jacket was a hand-me-down, but she walked up to the receptionist with her head held high. "I found this wallet," she said, holding it out. "It belongs to Logan Pierce." The receptionist blinked, clearly surprised. "Mr. Pierce? Just a moment, please." Within minutes, a tall young man in a tailored navy suit came striding across the lobby. He was handsome, with dark hair, sharp blue eyes, and a kind smile that softened his otherwise serious expression. "You found my wallet?" he asked, astonished. Emma nodded, feeling awkward. "Yes, sir. I was on 3rd Avenue last night and, well, I figured you'd want it back." Logan took the wallet, flipping through it quickly. Everything was there, every single dollar, every card. He looked at her, really looked at her, seeing the tired lines under her eyes, the worn clothes, the exhaustion she carried like an invisible backpack. "Thank you," he said sincerely. "You have no idea how much this means." Emma smiled, shrugged it off. "It's just the right thing to do." Before she could turn to leave, Logan stopped her. "Wait. At least let me reward you." She shook her head immediately. "No, really, I didn't do it for a reward. I'm just glad it found its way back to you." Logan was stunned. In his world, everyone wanted something. A favor, a promotion, a slice of his fortune. But here stood a girl who needed help and yet asked for nothing. After Emma left, Logan couldn't get her out of his mind. That kind of honesty, that kind of goodness, it was rare. He asked his assistant to find out more about her, not to invade her privacy, but because he wanted to understand. What he found broke his heart. A young woman working 2 jobs, raising her brother alone after their mother passed away from cancer 2 years earlier. Struggling, yet standing tall. 2 days later, Emma came home to find a letter slipped under her door. It was an invitation to a job interview at Pierce Enterprises, Logan's company. Confused but curious, Emma showed up, and to her shock, Logan himself conducted the interview. "I've been looking for someone exactly like you," he said with a warm smile. "Someone honest. Someone hardworking." He offered her a full-time job with a salary beyond anything she had ever dared dream of. Enough to pay rent, save for the future, and take care of Tyler properly. Emma blinked back tears, overwhelmed. Why me? Because you did the right thing, Logan said simply. Even when it would have been easier not to. At first, Emma struggled to believe her luck. She worked harder than ever, proving every day that she deserved the chance she had been given. Logan, too, changed. Inspired by Emma, he started a program within his company to support struggling families, scholarships, jobs, and housing assistance. Emma had sparked something in him he didn't even know was missing. As time passed, a bond grew between them, rooted not in wealth or need, but in respect, kindness, and a shared understanding of life's hardships. Emma never let success change her heart. She stayed humble, grounded, and generous. And Logan? He learned that sometimes the greatest treasures aren't measured in money, but in the kindness of a stranger who simply chooses to do what's right. The strong message that echoed from their story was simple yet powerful: in a world where it's easy to take shortcuts, integrity shines the brightest. And sometimes, the smallest good deed can open the door to the biggest miracles.